Islam. Welcome back to the Moor Culture Podcast. I'm your host, Brother Tashan Edwards Bey. I am here with my co-hosts, Elder Sheik, Elder Council Member, Brother Sharif Bey, and special guest, Islam. I'm glad to have a guest back. It's been a while since we had a guest. I'm so glad to have you here, brother. I met you yesterday, and here meeting you again, Brother Najee. Najee Bey, Islam. Welcome. So,
Islam.
we're going to learn a little bit about you and what's going on. But before we get too much further, I just want to greet everybody with peace, Islam, Assalamu alaikum, Alafia, Rahubat, Shalom, Hotep. Anything else? You're missing? Alafia, Ionio, I think I said. Anything else? We said Shalom. All peace. It all means peace. Namaste. Islam. This is episode 27 in Supreme Mathematics. That is Wisdom God, Islam, Wisdom Allah, episode 27. So,
Namaste means Allah and me, honest Allah and you.
Okay. Islam, I see that. The Allah and me sees the Allah and you. I love that. So, before we get too much further, one last agenda item that we start with is in true Moorish fashion and tradition. Start with our praises and honors. Elder, you want to start with your praises and honors?
Yes. In the spirit of light, in the spirit of the seven, I give high honors to Almighty Allah and His Holy Divine Prophet, Noble Ali. High honors to the forerunner of the Prophet, Marcus, Moses, and Garvey. High honor to Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, Muhammad. High honor to Emil Hill. High honor to J. Gibbons Hill. High honor to the Magi priest, Sidney Rothstein Hill. High honor to the God-man of the day, Jerome Grand Bay. High honor to the Nazarene, Allah El. High honor to Chief Grand Resurrector, Timothy Dingwell, hyphenated Noble Ali, and his other half, Mother Wisdom Grand Noblest, Louise Dingwell, and their daughter, Diane Dingwell, and the Grand Secretary, Margaret Thompson Bay, and the Supreme Branch Chief, R. Stonell, and assistant, Robert Page L., and Shem L., and the Grand Governor, J. Howard Bay, and all honors to our ancestors, and may Allah bless and shield all your family. Peace.
Islam. Thank you for that, Mo. Najee, you want to give your praises and honors? Any praises and honors you want to give?
Well, I just accepted what the Mo said. I'm good.
Islam. I'll rise and give all praises to Allah, high honors to the Prophet, Noble Ali, and his forerunner, Marcus Messiah Garvey. High honors to all past and present leadership of the Moorish Science Temple of America. High honors to all true and divine prophets of Allah that stand on the square of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And high honors to all the Moors worldwide, known and unknown. Islam, high honors to all of our ancestors, everybody that paved the way for us to be here. Happy to be back. I know we have a lot to get into, but real quick, Najee, please, brother, introduce yourself. I mean, we don't know who you are yet. Let's know what's going on, man.
Okay, I'm Najee Bey, and I'm an expert in constitutional law, treaty law, contract law, and international law. And I've been studying and teaching over 30 years now.
Okay.
I've been traveling all across the country to different states, and I've been awakening our people and teaching them nationality, history, and law.
Islam, the prophets
combat, right? So they can combat these invaders, these colonizers that's on our land. But as my journey went on and my research that I was doing, I realized that the best way to disarm these folks against yourself is to claim not only your Moorish nationality, but to claim your nation that was here prior to the colonizers coming here. So each one of us are connected to different nations that were here long before ancient nations, that we had a government here for over 10,000 years.
Wow.
And until up to 1830, we had a government here. And that's more or less where my research goes as far as our government on treaties and the things that we developed here way before they came here. And that's where my expertise lay.
Islam. That is beautiful.
And I want to give thanks to all the women, all the sisters, because we got to uplift our women. And that when you uplift a woman, that's when you uplift the nation. You know, so.
Islam. You got something to add on to that, Brother Sharif?
I want to get into it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm talking to the people up there. Most of you people are civilly to mortus, meaning civically dead. You have to learn how to come from darkness and the marvelous light. Religion's one thing, but it ain't nothing without divine law. In Article 6, Section 2, Constitution of the United States says the Constitution and treaties should be made supreme law of the land, and the judges of every state are bound thereby. So a lot of us be rumbling over reparations, and it's all in the treaty where it says what they owe us. This treaty I got here, and they're bound to obey the law. People saying we want to have meetings on reparations. Here's the law to say they owe us reparation. So the civil leads of mortus, their fight is over the wrong thing, because in all reality, people sitting on your state and you're multi-millionaires, but you don't have the will to get up out of the grave and speak right. You know.
Earlier, real quick, before we went on the podcast, you mentioned a number. You said a number for reparations. Is that reparations? Is there a number of dollar amounts owed? And how does that? Where does that come from?
You're talking about the Treaty of 1866.
1866 or something, $300,000 somewhere. Wait a minute.
They owed each one of us. They made us sign a treaty.
1866.
Okay, yeah, 1866 treaty.
Read about 3 articles.
This is
and that's where the 14th Amendment came from. There, it came from treaty law. It didn't come from the Constitution. So people keep thinking that it was written by some founding fathers. No.
Yeah. When was the Emancipation Proclamation? That was 1865.
Yes.
Or no, 80.
1865.
65.
It means
Okay.
Emancipation
means free with your free with the hand, but not with your mind.
Right.
So this is after that, and they're saying in this treaty they're mentioning.
You'll see the price down there. I just forgot my glasses. It's $300,000. You see it?
Yeah, that treaty is from 1866.
Okay.
You see it?
So this is a treaty with the Choctaw and Chickasaw.
You have to read. You have to read it, Mo.
Okay. Article 1.
Yes.
Permanent peace and friendship are hereby established between the United States and said nations, and the Choctaws and Chickasaws do hereby bind themselves respectfully to use their influence and to make every exertion to induce Indians of the plains to maintain peaceful relations with each other and with other Indians and with the United States. Article 2, the Choctaws and Chickasaws hereby covenant and agree that henceforth neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, otherwise than in punishment of crime, whereof the parties shall have been duly convicted. Yeah, that's that. I'm like, this is like literally the 14th Amendment. Mm-hmm. The Choctaws and Chickasaws, in consideration of the sum of $300,000, hereby cede to the United States the territory west of the 98-degree west longitude, known as the least district.
That's it.
Provided that the said sum shall be invested and held by the United States at an interest not less than 5%.
So they owe us interest.
Yeah, interest on the $300,000.
Hold on, this says in trust for the said nations until the legislatures of the Choctaw and Chickasaw nations respectfully shall have made such laws, rules, and regulations as may be necessary to give all persons of African descent resident in the said nation at the date of the Treaty of Fort Smith and their descendants.
That's good. You read it.
Wow,
but in the beginning of excuse me, brothers, but in the beginning of that treaty, it says black, meaning American, indigenous Americans and Africans.
Islam.
Yeah.
Well,
and,
so we got to get into Walter Plecker, how he changed the name from Indians into black because they keep reclassifying us.
well, if you look at the
And
third
so
Congress,
every time you call them people white, you're giving them permission to steal your land.
that's right. And every time you call yourself black, you're giving them permission to steal your land
And
because
every time you call yourself black, you're in a coffin.
black is what they created. See, black, Negro, colored is something that is a fiction that was created by a fictitious government. The United States is a corporation. It's not even a government.
It ain't a geographical location.
In 1831, the Supreme Court ruled that the states have no rights, have no jurisdiction over indigenous people. And in 1831, that's when Andrew Jackson, our capital city was New Orleans. It was called Algiers at the time. And that's when Andrew Jackson went to war with New Orleans and put New Orleans under martial law. That was our last great capital city. And that's when they started, after that, that's when they started changing the history and all that. But the United States is a corporation owned by Great Britain, the Queen of England, and the Vatican. See,
France,
all
in
corporations,
France.
and well, no, France ain't got nothing to
That's
do
what
with it.
Louisiana purchased.
Yeah, but that don't have nothing to do with the United States. The United States, when I'm talking about the United States, is located 10 miles inside of Washington, D.C., and 10 miles outside of Washington, D.C.
What I'm saying is all of them are connected.
No, but I'm saying the ownership of the United States is Washington, D.C.
I'm sharing with you, all of them are connected in the brotherhood regardless.
Yeah, I know that, but
They're allies, but
yeah,
they're
they're allies.
White supremacy.
Yeah. Well, we fought several countries. We was fighting several countries, our army here. And France was one of them, but the United States itself is owned by two countries.
I'm sharing with you.
Two capital cities.
I'm sharing with you. The Crusades is the Crusades.
Yeah.
The Crusades is the Crusades' main weapon is white supremacy.
Yeah, that was Ferdinand and Isabella. Yeah.
It goes way beyond that because inshallah I'm going to bring up about the Crusades. And
right. But I'm saying,
well,
go ahead, Mo.
I feel there was a discredit to a lot of people saying they know Islam and don't give you the history of Islam from the Prophet Muhammad from 570 AD to 610 AD, his history, and then comes the Ottoman Empire, and then the Moroccan Empire, and then the present day Saudi Arabian Empire. We got to learn about all. Then you talk about the sub-Saharan slave movement was 1,000 years that the Christians learned from Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
The slave thing, and they still got slaves today in Libya where we're not even respected today.
Right.
Even we got people in Islam that their self-esteem is so low, they can't even wake up on the battlefield and see what's going on. Islam is supposed to clean up this earth, peace, and you still got people with low self-esteem look like that, they slave in Libya.
But Islam, brother, goes back to the land of Mu. It goes back to the land of Mu.
Sir.
And it was a way of life. It was way before the African part of Islam and way before Mecca. I'm talking
about the impersonators.
Right.
That's why it's important for us in America to stand on our square, because people's trying to put a different face on Islam. It's working, and they're getting paid for it. Mm-hmm. So if we are committed to Allah the way we're supposed to, we'll change it. When some members of the law changing condition people till they change with their heart, we change in our heart and stuff, we'll bring the pure Islam here in America.
Yeah, the first word spoken in this country was Assalamu alaikum. It was peace. That was the first words. And that's in Ripley. If you go to Ripley's, believe it or not, the museum, it shows you that was the first word spoken in this country. Now, what I was saying about the United States, which is 1010 inside of Washington, D.C., that was the land that we leased to them to run their government, because we didn't want them to be part of our government because they were unclean. They were we called them the poopy party because they actually pooped and peed on themselves while they sit there because they didn't know how to clean themselves. They was just smelly. They were smelling, and we would light incense. That's where the incense, frankincense.
The barbers, the Berbers.
Yeah.
We talk how to cut hair.
Yeah.
They know that.
But I digress. Back to my point was that the United States is owned by the Vatican and the Queen of England. The Queen of England is the treasurer, the grand treasurer for the Vatican. See, all the states are separate states. They have nothing to do with the United States. All these states are separate corporations. Anytime you see the word of means away from. Like when they say, a lot of people think that the United States and America are the same country, but they're not. The United States is only located in Washington, D.C. Once you're 10 miles outside of Washington, D.C., you're in America. You're in America.
You just mentioned during the Modern Day Crusade, they put the whole Moorish nation on a cross, and they still on a cross today, and they have an identity problem. And they run to and fro the earth speaking garbage.
Well, that's because a lot of people don't know the history because they've been hiding the history and breaking up the history. A lot of them don't want to know it.
Yeah, some of them don't want to know. They love the conditions.
But that's our mission, to make sure that they get this information.
When you speak the way, when you let a law use you as a vehicle and speak to you, then everything in your environment changes. You become, the sleeping giant becomes awoke.
Okay, I understand that.
And then true talking in tongues, like they say in the church, stuff like that is letting your ancestors speak through you. You are today what your ancient forefathers were without a shadow of doubt or contradiction. No man can change the descendant nature of a human being unless his powers extend beyond the great universal creator law himself.
But when I want to get back to the 1831 law, when the states when the Supreme Court ruled that the states have no jurisdiction over indigenous people. Now, what happened was Andrew Jackson said before he invaded New Orleans, which was called Algiers, before it was called New Orleans, it was called Algiers. And like I said, it was one of our capital cities. Before they invaded it, he said, let them enforce it. So he did it anyway, even though the Supreme Court ruled. But the good part about that is that ever since 1831, when he did that, everything they did as far as law from that point on is null and void. Everything they did from that point in 1831 when he invaded, because the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land. So he was supposed to follow whatever ruling that they did. So everything they did since 1831 has been war crimes and crimes against humanity.
Tell me about de jure.
Ever since one.
De jure facto.
Yeah, well, the de jure government of ours was in Philadelphia. The de facto government means that
it still exists.
Yeah, well, it's still there, but in spirit, it's still there. But
when you stand on the square,
right.
When you stand on your square, the ancestors speak through you.
Right, and their government,
they will crack their meters.
Right, and their government.
Most people that's up there on them benches, they're pirates.
Yeah, well, all of them are.
22. Let's go with 611, 612s about like that.
Well,
that's why I'm into my best favorite book was The Hobbit.
Well,
they talk about the goblins, and when I see them goblins,
yeah, and the thing about what you're saying is pirates is that in the Treaty of 1713 under the Transportation Act is when they brought them over here. We signed a treaty with Great Britain that with Henry I, I believe it was. We signed a treaty with him that they can bring their criminals here because Europe was being overflowed. They had a big population explosion.
They're doing the same thing today.
And so, so we let them bring their criminals here. And in the document it says pirates, but they were convicts and criminals. The 13 colonies were actually prison colonies. People don't know that they were prison colonies. And what happened when they got off, you had to do 7 to 14 years indentured servant to get off of these colonies. So there was some that did their time and they just was wandering around the colonies, or they had work in the colonies or whatever. But what happened?
The Irish was,
But
and with that, but go ahead.
yeah, but what happened was the Catholic Church gathered all these people up and created an army, and that's how they overthrew our government. That's how. Well, they didn't actually overthrew. They went to war with us. They went to war with us.
The Bacon Rebellion is the Irish people came over as indentured servants, and they the oligarchs turned the Irish people on us by making them. They said, you can be like us, you're white and stuff like that. Just don't let them get ahead. And they became police officers.
Yeah, that's true.
And
but
police officers guard what they call us the Queen. I'm not the Queen's property.
Yeah.
You know, they say we the Queen's property. No, Allahu Akbar. You know, I don't consider myself not that.
The Queen's property, you will have an Esquire in front of your name. See, lawyers, what people don't know, and attorneys, they are foreign. They're foreigners. They're not citizens of the United States, and they're not citizens of America. It's a knighthood.
Above the gentleman, but below a knight. That's Esquire.
It's a knighthood. And anytime you take an oath, this is in the Immigration Act, and it's also USC 18 USC. It says that once you take an oath of office, you lose citizenship.
Yes.
So everybody in D.C., none of them are citizens of America because they took an oath for one thing, they took an oath to the Vatican. They took an oath to Israel, and they took an oath to the United States, and the United States is not part of America.
That's treason.
If you look at the etymology of the word of, it means away from, not a part of. So if you say the United States of America, you see that of means away from and not a part of, but people don't even look at that. So the United States is a separate country, just like the Vatican is separate from Italy, from Rome, you see? Yeah. And so is London separate from what? Great Britain.
So that's important. What's important about your higher self and lower self, as even the Bible, Jesus said, I'm in the world, but not of the world. When you get into your higher self, you know the stuff they cast is nothing but illusion.
Mm-hmm.
So your spirit is electricity. So you got to come into with your spirit and vibrate on the right frequency. Don't vibrate with them reptilians.
Right.
Them reptilians.
Well, the whole thing is an illusion because the United States is a fiction because the United States only exists on paper. United States citizens only exist on paper.
You know about the Haitian
You know the term they say, what is it, sovereign citizen? Well, if you say you're an American and you say you're a United States citizen, that's a sovereign citizen because Americans are sovereign. United States citizens are employees of the United States. They're not sovereign. So a sovereign citizen is a United States citizen. And they don't even know that. They don't even know that. So when they say that I'm a United States citizen, you're saying you're a sovereign citizen because you can't be both. You're either going to be sovereign or you're going to be a citizen. Americans are sovereign because we're indigenous to the land. United States is a creation of America, which we created for the colonizers. We created that for them because we didn't want them to be part of our government. So,
man, this is interesting. This is very interesting.
But every time they say the truth shall set you free, and that's why they don't want the critical race theory taught or none of that, right? Because the more and more you know about truth, the grand resurrection comes to effect.
Yeah, they don't want that. They don't want that history. They want to keep their story. They don't want our story. They're going to keep their story going as far as possible.
That's what you call that, the law of survival.
Well, truth is mathematics. That's why they say when somebody tell you something, you say to yourself, that just didn't add up.
Exactly right.
That didn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah, that math ain't mathing.
Yeah, see, because your body biologically, it has truth has an effect on the body biologically, just like a lie has. Yeah, so that's how you pretty much know if a person lying to you because it'll have a negative biological effect on you. See, we're operating on frequency and vibrations.
So when you tap in to the vibration, positive vibration, and you become enlightened. It's a journey. And you got people in the four corners of the world proclaiming that they got God within them, but they don't act like God.
Well, that's because God.
They'll try to short circuit you.
That's because God means government ordinance.
I'm not telling you. You can use it in that. You can use it like that, but it don't always make that. It's got several different meanings.
Yeah, but
let me change up and say, I'm gonna change it up. When you have the light and you vibrate on a certain frequency, and a lot of people can't reach that frequency, they'll try to short circuit you. But that frequency that you reach in light is heaven.
But Allah means all law, all universal law.
That's one of the meanings.
Yeah, that's one of the meanings.
It means many things. It's codes. Because they used to say Indians talk in sign language. That's a heavy statement there.
Yeah.
And sign language is still in effect.
But silence was also a language in a secret society too. That's what I'm talking about. Right.
Just like even as a lifeguard and stuff, we go to the other lifeguard, we go like, they're distress signals.
Yeah, just like when they say.
What was that? What did you just do? You just do a gang sign, man? What was that?
When you lifeguard and you see somebody in stress, you got the different lifeguard signals. So you send different signals to the other lifeguard. You go like whap, 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 whap. All them signals, distress signals, to the other lifeguard pass when somebody's in distress. Get you to post, get assistance.
Yeah, like the serpent. They said the serpent convinced Eve to eat the apple. The serpent was a secret society of serpents.
The serpent was the serpentine fire, and the garden was the woman's vagina.
It was actually enlightenment. It was actually they was giving her enlightenment, and consciousness. See, but the whole thing about Adam and Eve was that what people misunderstand is that the Garden of Eden were laboratories where we did studies and everything, and we did it from the Delta, Mississippi Delta, down to the Yucatan Peninsula. Wow. A lot of experiments and things we did, just like we would communicate with the plants through our DNA to know which plants were good for medicine, which plants were poison, what was bad for us. So the same thing with Adam and Eve was that the Adam was Atom and Eve was the evolved and evolution of that Adam that we transformed that Adam and nurtured that Adam into growth, into humans.
And the melanin in your body is magic. But so what they do is distract us from living right, so you won't know what your power is.
Yeah.
When you, like Jesus told them, go sin no more. When you stop sinning, become upright and stuff, that's when all the power comes. You've been along with the prophets and angels and all that.
Well, with the melanin and all that, in order to activate your melanin to a higher plane, you would have to be on a higher vibration and a higher frequency. You can't just get it.
That's why exercise.
Yeah, and it also has to do with your diet. It has to do with being upright, right, Mo? Standing on your square, being upright.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are not going to get to that frequency. See, we have divine powers. We have divine powers, and the melanin give us really divine powers. The whole thing about right now, what's going on right now, what you see, the molecules in the earth is changing. So the molecules and the people are changing because we're moving into what you call the fifth dimension. And the age of Aquarius. And so as we move closer into the age of Aquarius, those who are on a certain frequency will have divine powers because we had divine powers. Anything, El, the Superman, what was Superman's father's name? Jor-El, right? Jor-El? El. Yeah. That's who we are. We are the Supermen because they figure that we are the Supermen because, for one thing, all the hell they put us through and we're still surviving, and they don't understand that. So now they're doing studies on the melanin.
Social media is driving them crazy.
That's right. But That's why they're doing studies on the melanin, because they know it's biological, but there are certain doors that they cannot open and that we can. And so when they find and go and dig up our architect and our artifacts and all those things, the things that they can reassemble, put or reproduce, they use those that technology. But the things they can't, they destroy and they get rid of. So, but because it's only certain doors you can get to, anybody, but except us, because we were the original only people on the earth that's 100% natural from the earth. Everybody else came from us. So
when you go back and you tap it, because we're just solely of the soul.
They don't have the keys, Mo.
I mean, when you tap back into the earth, the elements will work for you.
Right.
What do you think Maurice White Earth, Wind, and Fire was about?
That's how you got to do it.
When you steer them elements, you ain't got to worry about what the politicians are doing.
Right. Because the earth give us everything. Look what nature give us. In nature, you can be clothed, you get food, you get shelter. These are all the necessities that you need. If they blew everything up today or tomorrow, you still got the earth. You still got those necessities. Some parts ain't going to be able to eat because of nuclear fallout or whatever the hell if you're surrounded. But the earth provides
us. They don't
us.
talk about that because they know that times.
The earth provides us with everything that we need. Nature provides us with.
You know, a couple of years ago, I think it might have been during, or maybe it was pre-pandemic. They were talking about like food shortages and stuff. And I never forget. This is before me being conscious. This is before consciousness for me. And I was like, that doesn't equate to me. Like, that math doesn't make sense to me. Like the earth provides. Like you're not going to tell me. We're going to run out of food. You're not going to tell me and scare me to think we're going to run out of resources.
Right.
God provides. Go ahead, Mo.
I'm into humanity because I had a lot of teachers from all walks of life. And I don't hate because I'm a lifeguard and it's my responsibility to save humanity, save a life. But and you got good people from all walks of life. But like the Bill Gates said, the earth was overpopulated. He said that out verbally, right? And people act like they didn't hear nothing. You know what I mean? Like it was all right to say that. He said, I want to kill some people. And the people that say, like the Holy Quran says, Shaitan swore that he was a sincere advisor. But to you, he's a vowed enemy. So what type of people that you got out there to listen to somebody say the earth is overpopulated? They looking at us because we reproduce more than them.
Yeah, that's a myth. Because everybody in this country,
we reproduce more than them, so they got to take some of us out there.
Yeah.
That math ain't mathing. When you drive around the world and there's just so much land just empty, you're gonna tell me there are too many people.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
Everybody in America can fit in Texas. Everybody.
Yeah, and it's
so
too many.
You got
people.
all this other land, but they're saying that because they're not reproducing, they're not having babies, and it's because of a recessive gene. You can't have two recessive genes producing anything. At one point, it's going to stop altogether.
And that's why they keep wars going. They keep wars.
You saw they changed the Department of, was it the Department of something to the Department of War? The new department, they changed the name.
They changed it to the Department of
the United States of America.
The Department of Defense is now the Department of War.
The Department of War.
But that's the only way they can survive is kill people.
Yeah, well.
Like one of my favorite verses in the Bible, when Jesus said, he said, if you was of Abraham's seed, you do Abraham's work. He said, you're of your father, the devil. He's a liar, faithful to murder from the beginning. He's the father of liars. He said, I come to separate the goat from the sheep.
Yeah.
The sheep. But, they ain't going to stop it.
Well,
it ain't going, long as they hear a lot, and I'm not saying the people in them positions, we have to make them be about peace and step down.
Yeah, we can.
Because if they're not about peace and stuff, they're about the destruction of the earth.
Well, we can do it
in Jesus,
with this.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, as long as, when they say they want to make peace, no. What they want to do is they want your natural resources. It's being exposed. I'm not not saying nobody don't know that they're being exposed to what
The
they
Bible
do.
says they kill, steal, and destroy.
Yep.
That's their job.
Yep.
I mean, that's their nature, though.
And but it ain't a color thing. So you got people all blend, all pedigrees that join together and create them crimes.
Yeah, it's not all of them. I can't sit here and say all of them because some of them have more of our DNA and our genetic makeup than people think. They just look that way, but they do have the same emotions and the same genetic makeup as us. But the ones in charge are of a certain bloodline.
Right.
They're of a certain bloodline.
So now what I see is that I just see people just trying to live. Trying to survive. You know, they be seniors. We be working out and stuff like that, doing Tai Chi.
Yeah.
And they're not really with the mess. So the people that ain't a part of that unit, that, you know, like the oligarchs, when I was small, it was this Albion lady said, the 99% versus the 1%. And I didn't listen to her right then. But the 1% want to control everything.
Yeah.
They want all your dollars, so forth, so the people, the 99%, got to learn the importance of unity and come together. And we think about it's all about money now. You can't eat money.
Yeah. But it's deeper than that because it's a natural thing and it's biological and it's genetics. Like I said, it's the only natural beings on this earth is us. We're 100% from the earth. Mm-hmm. Things that are not natural, unnatural things really can't coexist with natural things without destroying it. It's impossible to have something unnatural coexist with something natural without destroying it.
Yeah, yes, but we ruled for thousands and thousands. It was, at one time, the whole earth was in harmony and peace. It was peace, and you never rule that it can't be that way again. We just had to play chess and check the things.
Yeah, it would have to be that way, and we would have to make it that way because we're natural, we're law. We're the law.
Yeah.
We're the law. The law was given as us because we're the natural beings, and the earth was given to us to protect, and we didn't do it.
And so
we didn't do it.
My favorite psychologist, Abraham Maslow, said the human being is constantly in a state of self-actualization, meaning he's constantly coming. You don't have ever to self-actualize. That's what everybody out there. You got to get on point. It's all about self-actualization. What type of legend are you going to leave behind? Are you going to get caught up in the okie doke? Because people like to drain your energy and stuff. We got that divine quality in us. Everybody got that God in us. I'm telling you, come from darkness, and Marvel's like, come on upstairs.
Yeah, but that's evolution, because evolution means to constantly learn and constantly evolve. So if you're stagnant.
Evolution, the line, uniting divinity with matter, that's the yin and yang.
Right.
Islam. On that note, every Friday, come on down, Moor Science Temple of America Federation, Moor Science Temple of America, right here in the Holy Temple. Proclaim our nationality and attend a holy meeting every Friday, 7 p.m., the God Hour. If that spooks you out, it's study hall. We call it study group. Come and study. Come and open up the books. Come crack the ethers. Come learn something. Know thyself. Islam, that's what we're all about here. This is the Moor Culture Center. It's not just the Moor Science Temple. It's not just that. It's the Moor Culture Center. We have more cultures to learn about, more than just this culture we're living in, this deaf culture that we're unfortunately forced to be inside right now. So come learn some more. Come learn some more here at the Moor Culture Center, 715 North King Street, every Friday, 7 p.m. Study hall, study group, Holy Temple meeting, whatever you want to call it, 7 p.m. every Friday. And visit us, moorculturecenter.com. Get you some of this tea. How do you like that tea, Mo?
That's excellent tea.
Yes.
All herbal. Your diet, too. We teach about diet. We teach about good things to eat to keep you healthy and keep you motivated.
You want a degree that I want to help everybody try to get on? Yeah, live it. not a diet, a live it.
I live it,
Right, I live it.
Not die, because you gotta live it.
And this is
live spelled backwards is evil, and live spelled backwards is devil.
Yeah.
And Christian spelled backwards is antichrist.
But we live in it. So
yeah,
we're not just live. We're not evil. We're it.
That diet. That diet is tough, man. Everybody has a problem with the diet, and that's why. And I heard that from 19 Keys first, but I know that people that try to diet it's always an issue. And before I heard live it, I would say diet is hard. You have to really just make a lifestyle change. It has to be not like I'm gonna just change my diet. No, you got to wake up and be a different person. Like, now, this is what I eat. Now, this is what I don't eat. Right. This is my new law. I will not touch this. Like pork, certain things just need to be looked at as completely not okay.
Well,
like,
you
just
gotta
don't
wake
touch
up and say, I want to live, because your food is your medicine. You see, and the diets that these people are on, and I hate to say this, but the Christian diet is the diet giving our people diabetes and making our people sick.
That's our number one killer is heart disease.
That's right.
Our number one killer is heart disease. Every time somebody talks about, police shootings or anything, it's like, you know what that kills us more than anything is
heart disease.
Yeah, heart disease, man. That's sugar and salt.
So we're killing ourselves because we following these other people's diet, things that are not conducive to our growth and our strength and energy.
It's just like you know what the sign of the Roman legions is?
What's that?
The swine.
Really?
Yeah, that's.
See, I'm learning something too. I still learn too, people.
They put that on us, and so when Jesus healed the man in the Bible, he was possessed with a demon called legions. You ever heard that?
Legions?
Yeah, legion means many, and he was in a graveyard biting his arms
lepers.
and stuff.
Okay, that's different.
He's biting his arms and stuff like that. Legion means many, right? So Jesus laid his hands on the man and told the demons to get up out and flee from him, right? And the legions got up out of the man and jumped in the herd of swine and pigs, and swine jumped over the mountain. So
religion means region. Religion means the legion goes backwards.
Many.
That means the legion goes backwards, right? Religion.
Religion.
Religion. Yeah, that means legion go backwards. Like the Romans would march, they would move backwards. They say religion, and they made a religion out of it. So when you study these religions, well, the religions that aren't natural to you, then you're actually going backwards.
You have to look at it, Mo. Like the Moors say, time never was. That's the first verse in our Quran, right? And Einstein's theory of relativity is time, space, and motion are not absolute. And then you look at our people, the Muslims out there, they might say, the month of Ramadan's here, right? They fast on Ramadan. The rest of the year, they off their deen.
True.
But then when you ain't in the Ramadan, starting the Muslim lunar calendar, you're back in the Gregorian calendar, which is really from January, December. And January was named after King Janus. Mars was named after the March god of war. March was named after the Mars god of war. And you spell ruled over by Aries. Aries ruler. That's the ruling planet in Aries is Mars. And if you spell Mars backwards, it's Rams. Then you got Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar, Julius Caesar.
Well, De Jesus means Zeus.
That's where Jesus came from.
And Zeus means Saturn, which means Satan. And they worship Satan. You know?
So you got Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar, and September was a so-called a Moorish emperor, right? Named Septimus, right? But it means 7, 8, 9, 10. September, October, and November, December. That's so it ain't really December. Ain't really 12. It's 10. So Prophet Noble said we measure time by cycle ages. So I just shared with you about 2 different cycle ages. So we had to be in tune with these cycle ages, brothers. If you caught up in these cycle ages, they can take you to an altered state.
Yeah, they will. That's why they moved the timeline. They moved the timeline, and they changed the whole. Matter of fact, they killed so many. They did so much genocide to our people that they changed the whole ecosystem. And when they changed the timeline, they also changed the frequency. But the Earth corrects itself, like nature corrects itself.
Yeah.
So that's why all these people you see now, people are becoming more conscious and everything. No matter what they do and hide, it's all in alignment with our blood, our DNA, our genetics, and with the Earth.
Yeah.
So the Earth
all ties
corrects,
in.
nature corrects itself. So
That's
that's why more and more people are waking up. And they know these things because they stole our artifacts and our knowledge. So they know what's going on. And that's why you see what's happening now as what they call the crackdown, where they're trying to induce martial law.
Every time you call them white, you give them permission to steal your land. So
That's right.
people better wake up and stuff.
That's a word from the elders. Y'all better listen now. He knows. Yeah.
Because if you don't wake up, you're going to meet your demise.
Yeah, because there's no such thing as black and white people.
People are not crayons.
You had the humanoids and you had Neanderthals. And what happened was we created certain beings. I don't want to say like that, but we created certain beings by mixing the gene of a humanoid and the Neanderthal.
Wisdom speaks from out the highest plane of spirit light. Angels, the thought of law manifested in the flesh.
Right.
Circle 7, Holy Command, more signs, Temple America, be finally prepared by no prophet Raleigh to redeem man from a simple fallen stage, humanity back to his highest plane of spirit life at one with his Father God alone.
Right. But
We walk the earth, don't we both?
Yeah, and this land here is ancient land. This is where everything started. And the way you can tell that this land here is older is because, remember, they was talking about, like, in order to create life biologically, you need water. And they say Africa is where everything started. That's not true, because they're just saying that because the Europeans gave them that knowledge. And Europe was once part of Africa. But in order to have biological life, you need water. In Africa, they only have 2 water holes. It was basically Victoria, Lake Victoria,
That's what your blood is
and the Nile.
Ain't that your blood?
And the Nile,
Your blood is water.
Yeah, your blood, but Lake Victoria and the Nile, where here we had the Mississippi, we had all these other water holes here in America. This is the most ancient land here.
Lake Victoria.
You know Noah, the ark they made?
Yeah, ain't Lake Victoria big one?
Yeah, the trees that Lake Victoria got the falls in South Africa. But we have a Lake Victoria here around Michigan, But they have a Lake Victoria.
You ever seen that?
Yeah. Yes. You see how big that water? It looks like an ocean. It's so big.
You can't see.
But we did that.
You can't see the other side.
We did that, and we did the Mississippi River too.
But
People don't know. You know the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia? That was the map. If you put a map of the Mississippi River up next to it, it shows you the crack is the same as the Mississippi River. It's the same as the Mississippi River.
And then we used to have shrines under Lake Michigan that went all the way into Lemuria.
Yeah, the land of Mu. A lot of people don't understand the Tutoria and the land of Mu. That's deep,
That's
too
power,
deep for them. Yeah, and that
you still got that literature from there.
Yeah, and about the Atlantis and all that.
Holy Quebec literature.
And Mu. Yeah, I got literature on it. And Mu and Atlanta was at war. No. The Mu and Atlanta was at war. That's how you got the Grand Canyons and all that. That was energies. That was different energies. And see, that upset a lot of things too and changed a lot of the tectonic plates and all these things, yeah. But this is ancient land. The ship that Noah made, the wood was only found here. It was called Pepperdine or something. What was it? Gopher wood. It's only found in America. Yeah, only in America. People don't even know that.
It's
just like well, I'm not going to get into that, but anyway, yeah.
Whatever's on your heart, Mo. We don't have much more time,
Caesar Borgia. I was about to talk about that.
That name sounds mad familiar, right? I've heard the name, but it's
You know who Caesar
Some
Borgia is.
people, go ahead, I'll let you.
Google Caesar Borgia, bro.
that name is. I've heard it plenty of times. But I don't know what.
Some people
it's not
say,
specifically
some
what
people say
what
that
he is.
picture of Jesus and stuff, somebody put a beard on a woman.
Yeah.
But the Caesar Borgia, the people that they looking at, they call
Italian-
Jesus.
Yeah,
Italian-
that's not a beard on.
Italian
That's
cardinal
a
deacon?
joke. That's
Italian cardinal deacon.
yeah.
Is he who people are
Caesar
saying
Borgia is the
He's-
image that they
Alexander
used to
Sixth
tell
son.
for Jesus?
to steal everybody's land, telling them that's Jesus, so
Yeah.
that they could feel as though they were divine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one the picture that everybody look at, the picture of the blonde hair and blue eyes. That's Caesar Borgia, and he's the picture that they shipped all around the world, so that the creator could be in their likeness. But that's not Jesus. It was never a such person as Jesus. His name was Yahshua, and he was a brother.
In 2025, anybody with a picture, especially anybody that's melanated, any Asiatic melanated person having a European Caucasoid Jesus anywhere in their vicinity, like that's just wild. That's wild to me. I don't understand how that's what happens.
But you gotta understand, it's the frequencies. It's a lot of people that still got that in their house.
You see it, you still see it, and to me, it's just like it doesn't make. It's just hard for me to understand. It's 2025. All you gotta do is just a simple research, and you can learn clear as day.
But if they
this
change
is not
it, then the
demand.
con's over. It's no more money coming in. If you got, what do they say? Don't cut the hand that feeds you. Yeah, then the money will stop coming in if they expose that part.
Wow.
And that shows you it's a big con, a business generated by Isabella and Ferdinand, in the Catholic Church. Yeah, the Catholic Church. People don't know that every corporation in America is obligated to the Catholic Church here in America.
The Catholic Church
Yeah.
into the Babylonian Brotherhood.
Yeah, all of them.
And the mitre that the Pope used to wear around his head, that big hat looked like a fish, represented the Piscean age and also the Babylonian fish god Dagon.
You're right. You're right.
Islam. Wow. Okay. Well, we got to wrap it up. Unfortunately, few more moments though. Get any last things off of our hearts. I don't want anybody leaving here feeling like they didn't get off what they wanted to get off. Najee, any final thoughts?
Well, the thing is that I'm gonna be around for a while, and I'm gonna be helping the brothers here set up a clinic, law clinic, true law clinic. And I started a foundation called the Real Foundation, meaning Real Ethnic American Legacy. And we will help you with some of these situations that goes on with the law here. And we will show you using your nation and your nationality, how to counter these people that are foreigners on our land. And they're foreigners.
Invaders.
And I will show you how to stop their attacks, because most of their attacks be financial extortion. And that's all it is. These are gangsters.
Yeah.
These aren't government. This is a gangster.
My box
I always say that remember The Godfather, when the senator was trying to get Michael wanted to get the senator, he wanted to be friends with the senator to get a gambling license for his casino. And before the senator said what he had to say, and Michael said what he had to say, before the senator went out the door, Michael said, Senator, he said, don't forget, Senator, your thing and our thing is the same thing. So don't y'all forget that their thing is gangsters. They're gangsters. But if we come together and we on the same frequency, we don't have to touch them. We only have to think about them. And that divine energy and that natural wisdom is going to kick in and do whatever we want. Nature will do whatever you want. It's waiting for you to give it an order. But we're sitting around all unnatural, chemicaled up, We eating chemicals. We so messed up. We're so far away from nature. And once we get back to nature and get back to our divine self, then we could break these hoops. We could break these hoops. And it's already happened naturally anyway, because they're going extinct. Our enemies are going extinct. Not all, but most of them. It's going to be 144 of them, 1,000 of them left. And they'll be the ones that with the understanding. But the message in this is you could come here, come to the Moor Cultural Center here, and maybe we could help you with some things. But you had to know what tribe your people came from, what nation, because we weren't tribes, we were nations. You had to know. If you know that information, I can stop a lot of this extortion that's happening to the people.
Islam. Come proclaim your nationality here at the Moor Culture Center, Friday, 7 p.m. Islam. Brother Sharif, any final closing remarks you have?
O Allah, have mercy on us according to your loving kindness, according to your multitudes of tender mercy. Cleanse us with hyssop, and we shall be clean. Wash us, and we shall be whiter than snow. Take not your Holy Spirit away from us. Cast us not away from your presence. Cure us of our soul diseases, heal our wounded, broken spirit. Uphold us with a free spirit. Then shall we teach transgressors away. Sinners shall be converted unto thee. May the sweet communion of Holy Spirit rest, rule, and abide with you. Henceforth, forevermore, my heart, mind, soul says, let the words of my mouth, meditate my heart be acceptable in thy sight. O Lord of the world, my strength and my redeemer. Amen.
Islam. On that note, we're going to sign off. Please come check us out. Donate as well. If you would like to purchase some teas, t-shirts, herbs online, moorculturecenter.com, or just leave a donation. Support the temple. Help us stay here. We are doing the Prophet's work, helping uplift fallen humanity. If you don't know, there's Tent City basically being built up right around the corner. We will be there shortly. We'll be getting some socks, blankets, warm stuff, and we're gonna find the best way we can to make sure we're helping the downtrodden and people that need help the most, especially our people, Islam. On that note, sign off. Until next time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Praise Allah.